Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. And that's the game we play. You know what I'm saying? We sat there in the pocket and exchanged. I was the one who came out on top today. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just enjoying the spoils of victory. You feel me?
Definitely feeling you, man. I'd be celebrating a long time after performance like that, that's for sure. Let's kind of get into everything here. Before we get into the fight, I want to back up to just a few things prior to it. And the first of which I'm sure everybody's probably already noticed, but new haircut there, right? You got the blonde
Yes,
now.
sir.
Just
Yes,
talk about the
sir.
decision to change it up. It looks good.
I appreciate that, man. Dude, it's gotten a lot of positive. It started off as well. I cut my hair first of all. I grew my hair out for my old win streak. It was like as long as I got this win streak going, I'm not gonna cut my hair. So my hair got really long because the win streak lasted for a long time. And then after I lost my last fight, I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? This is it. You know what I'm saying? Got to cut it all off. Now the fact that it got blonde, that was a joke. Like that was something me and my sisters were just hanging out, and my sisters are like, "You should let us dye your hair blonde. Your hair's short now. You can just cut it if you don't like it." And I thought it would be funny, so I was like, "Yeah, screw it. Let's dye it blonde. Let's see what it's like." And it was funny because yeah, just kind of like you just said, the response to it is that one, you never know how many people don't like your hair until you change it, right? Like I didn't realize like some people still love the long hair, but some people are like, wow, you look so much better now. I'm like, well, thanks for letting me know how you really feel. You know what I'm saying? But no, yeah, this is the blonde. It works for me now. Hey, we got a new winning streak going. We got a new Duke. So you know what I'm saying? I think the blonde's gonna be here for a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you let it grow out the last time, you're gonna have to keep doing blonde this time for this winning streak here. And you had mentioned about the loss there, but, and then getting the haircut. I wanted to ask you too, just about what the mindset coming into this fight was. Obviously, coming off of a loss like that, it's a bit new territory for you there, you could say. So just what was the mindset like, and trying to shift gears, get back into the win columns. What was all that like in the lead up to the fight?
Well, one thing, you always feel the pressure to win, but there is a little bit extra, like, when you're at the UFC level, there's not a whole lot of room to lose fights. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like if you lose one fight, that's kind of your mulligan. And then, the next fight is kind of a big deal, not just for, keeping your job, but also the perception of how people see you as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like if I lost to Gabe Green, the way people would have looked at me for the outlook of my career wouldn't have been very good. But on the flip side, now I knock him out in 14 seconds. Now people are, praising me and lifting me up to all sorts of new heights. So it definitely was. I've never lost back to back fights, even back when I was an amateur. It's just not something that was going to happen. After I fought Renat, I learned so much from that fight. You know what I'm saying? I just came out just a totally different fighter, ready to rock and roll for this one.
Well, it's good that you're able to obviously put that behind you, make the necessary adjustments because this performance was fantastic. Just one other thing, though, before we get into the performance itself, I do want to ask about the weigh-ins. I know you had missed weight. That's never the ideal situation, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to give you the opportunity to address that because I know it doesn't sit well with the bosses, it doesn't sit well with fans. So I'll let you, just address everything that happened there.
Yeah, it was very frustrating. I've never missed weight my whole career, and it was definitely fun. I would say, of all the things about fighting at home, that was probably the one thing that kind of got lost in the sauce. Is I'm around home. You know what I'm saying? I still, I'm going to the gym. Normally I'm just at the hotel isolated. I have a process. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of got a little complacent, was like, my head was swiveling too much. I should have just cracked down, stayed at the hotel, focused on the weight cut. I'm going from the hotel to the gym, here, there. And I took for granted that I was going to make weight because I felt great weight wise coming into the week. And, like I said, I've never missed weight. So I'm just like, I'm going to make weight no matter what. No matter what happens, I always make weight. But then when you stop sweating, you know what I'm saying? When you've been in the sauna for 15 minutes and you don't have a drop of sweat coming out, you know what I'm saying? When you're sitting in the hot bath, lathered up in sweet sweat, you don't have any more sweat coming out of your pores. That's when things are like, oh no, this is not, this is not good. The UFC is knocking on your hotel door being like, yo, we got to go do these weigh-ins. You're like, I was just sitting there. I was like, I can't believe I screwed this up so badly. But yeah, once again, learned, you know what I'm saying? Like this never happened before. It won't happen again. You know what I'm saying? That's on me. It was my fault, you know what I'm saying? But that's the good thing. It's like something I'm in control of and something I can keep from happening again. So, lessons learned.
Well, it's good that at least it's never going to happen ever again. The issue's been addressed, and kudos to manning up. That you made a few mistakes in the lead up to it. So everybody's got to give you credit there. And let's move on to now the better part of fight week, the actual fight itself. The great performance. Let's start here. When you walked out to the octagon, right? Obviously, crowds going nuts when they announce your name. Obviously, the arena completely erupts and goes crazy. What was that like for you? I'm sure that's going to be something that you'll never forget ever in your life.
Man, I'll tell you, that's just one of those things where, you really dream about that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I remember, I walked out dreaming nightmares and, there's a lot of times where, even back when I was an amateur, like a lot of times I run at night just because when I was still working a lot, that was the only time I could run, you know what I'm saying, was at night after training. And so that's just something I do. When there's no one else on the trail, it's dark out, it's just me and my music running on this trail, listening to dreams and nightmares. But, as I'm running, it's like you can see the lights, you know what I'm saying? You can see the lights in the crowd and the people, and you're just visualizing about that, you know what I'm saying? That's helping you get through the run. And then, to actually come to the point where it's like, we're here at home in the Spectrum Center, fans, friends, family, everyone's there. Everyone is like, excited. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everyone in the stadium was living vicariously through me in that moment. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just that walk was something that I've never experienced anything like that up to this point in my life. So, it was incredible. You know what I'm saying? And, now I just have to keep on knocking people out so that, the UFC comes back to Charlotte and we can run it back and I can experience that all over again. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, I bet you definitely want to experience that a few more times there in Charlotte with that reception you got there. But obviously, getting that reception walking out is one thing. Obviously, you want the hometown fans to go home happy. You delivered on that end of it. Let's finally get into this now. Obviously, not a lot to break down. The fight was only 14 seconds long. I'm sure you were probably surprised at Gabe's approach to it, how fast he came out. Just kind of, talk a little bit about what was going through your mind as he just comes out guns blazing, blitzing at you, and then the short right hand that put him away.
Man, that was it threw me off a little bit. One, a lot of things about how he came out threw me off. Normally, he's an open stance guy, so if I come out orthodox, he'll come out southpaw. If I came out southpaw, he would have came out orthodox. I came out orthodox. He also came out orthodox to touch the gloves. So I was like, okay, very interesting. So I thought that he had a different kind of game plan. I didn't know what he was going to do. We touched gloves, bounced a little bit, about to start finding my range, and then he switches southpaw and just comes at me like a crazy man. And it's a little jarring at first, but once you process what's happening, it's like, okay, all right, we're firing. All right, you want to fire? You want to have a shootout? Let's have a shootout. My firepower is better than yours. You know what I'm saying? So, that at that point, it was about, playing at my feet, correcting my stance, you know what I'm saying? Looking at what he's doing. And then, finding my shot in there. And that's all it was. You know what I'm saying? Muscle memory took over. You know what I'm saying? I slipped the punch, came back with the right hand, fucking put it right on the chin. That was all she wrote. You know what I mean? So I don't think anyone's going to come at me like that again. You know what I'm saying? And if they do, come on. I need more bonuses. Y'all want to come at me crazy? Come on, let's go.
I know you're pretty confident with the hands there, and you mentioned that in your post-fight interview too about how if you get your hands on people, you'll put them away. You definitely did it in this fight, and then afterwards we saw the emotion, and we just got done talking about what it was like with the hometown crowd and everything. Just what was that moment like afterwards, though, when you got the win? Your family's there, your friends there. Sure, that had to be something that's very special to you. And then how'd you end up celebrating afterwards?
Well, I mean, just telling you that in that moment, because that's just another thing you just dream about. I mean, I remember, being, a broke fighter and, seeing other guys that I like rub shoulders with or fought get opportunities. And I'm in my little beater green 2002 Ford Escort. It was a little green car. You know what I'm saying? Very rickety. I'm surprised it passed the inspection, but and you're sitting there, you're overwhelmed with life, trying to figure out how you're gonna pay bills, how you're gonna train, how you're gonna progress in your career as a fighter. And there was a lot of times where, I'd just be sitting in my car by myself and I would be crying in the car, but it wouldn't be tears of sadness because like I would be thinking like that would be my escape in those hard moments was like thinking about, having a performance like that in Charlotte and having that reception, and just thinking about that and being like, man, that'd be crazy. You know what I'm saying? That would make everything worth it. And then, to actually be there in that moment and everyone's going crazy and for the fight to have gone how it went. Dude, yeah, there was so many emotions flying around. Like, I had this whole idea of what I wanted to say after the fight. All that just like went out the window. You know what I'm saying? It's just like everything I said was just literally right off the cuff. You know what I'm saying? So no, that was really something special, and just celebrating with all my friends and family afterwards. Because normally I'm fighting in Vegas. There's a very limited amount of people that can afford to just take trips out to Vegas to watch a fight and to celebrate afterwards. So to be able to celebrate with all my family and all the friends, all the training partners, that was crazy. Later that night, we went to the official after party at Encore. Encore, that's the spot down here in Charlotte. It was dope. We're in the VIP section, you know what I'm saying? Connected to our VIP section on the other side, we got D-Rod and Aljamain Sterling and Jamal Hill and Chris Weidman over there. And, it's just wild because it's like, man, this is what happens. You know what I'm saying? You go out and you do big things in the UFC and you go out and you live the life of a king afterwards. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like being a rock star. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, sounds like it was one hell of an after party, that's for sure there. And I'm glad for you, too, after a performance like that at home. You deserved absolutely all of that. Now, you had mentioned about how you kind of had things planned, what you were going to say afterwards, all went out the window with the emotions and everything. But you did get your call out in, and that was of Ian Gary. Ian, of course, fought on the same card. He had a massive win over Daniel Rodriguez and a great performance. I'm expecting he's probably going to be put in the rankings when they come out. Do you think that you'll be able to get that fight? I know it has gotten some traction with fans, that's for sure. But obviously, with him now probably going to be ranked, and I know having the whole country behind him that he has, I don't know, the UFC might obviously go opposite direction there. Just your thoughts on how that's all going to play out. I know you really want the fight. Just kind of tell us what you're thinking here a couple days removed.
Listen, brother. I want the fight. The people want the fight. There's only one person who doesn't want the fight, and he doesn't want the fight because he knows what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like Ian's really tough too. You know what I'm saying? Really good fighter, but he strives on being bigger than his opponents. I'm bigger than Ian. You know what I'm saying? He strives on being the better striker. I'm the more powerful striker. You know what I'm saying? I'm just as fast. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think that fight kind of right now, normally you don't match up two prospects like that, but I think it makes a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? The people want to see it. You know what I mean? I think it would be a pretty big fight. As far as people go who are at our points in our career, you know what I'm saying? Is like, if he gets into the top 15 after this fight, he's going to be number 15. So there's no, I honestly think, a fight with me would probably be bigger than anyone he could get before the top 10. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that fight makes a lot of sense. We'll see how the matchmaking goes afterwards, though.
Well, I can tell you right now, if it doesn't happen next, we're probably going to see it at some point in your career because this was definitely an eye-opening performance for the rest of the division. Obviously, you have that great, fantastic professional record. A lot of big things are on the horizon for you. Can't wait to see it all there. Just last thing before we head out, I want to first thank you for the time today, too. It's been a great conversation, but also just before you head out, you want to plug your social media so people know where to follow you at. Do you have any management, sponsorships, anything like that you got to plug? You get the last word today. Floor is yours.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me. Shout out to one big shout out to everyone who came out and supported me at the fight. The energy was incredible. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to my family, you know what I'm saying, who supported me along this journey. I was so happy to be able to share that moment with them. My team, I wouldn't be here without them. Shout out to my agency, Iridium Sports Agency, the best agency in all of MMA. I can't speak for other sports, but MMA, they're top notch. Jason House is top notch. Um, and Instagram, Bryan Battle 68, Twitter, Bryan Battle 10. Come on, follow your boy. You know what I'm saying? Jump on the train. You know what I'm saying? We're on a journey right now. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So, jump on while you still can.